Good afternoon, guys. Hey, I wanted to tell you of some changes that are going to be making in the way that we use our GE program on our phones, the RFS. What I've got in front of you here is the existing work order that the building engineer or the maintenance guy or whoever, when you're done with your work, this is what we're emailing them right now. Right now, it's got a work performed of what we did and a unit that we worked on. The problem that we have is if we work on 5 different units and it lists 5 different units, there's no way to say what we did to each and every one unless you specify it in this, and that's going to get really, really cumbersome. So what we've done is we've had a new form designed, and it is right here. What this is going to do is, as you select a piece of equipment, you're going to be able to say what you did to each and every one of them. So it's going to show the model number, the serial number, and what you did to that particular unit. So if you work on 3 units, you're going to select this unit, say what you did to it. You're going to select the next unit, say what you did to that. What that's going to do is that's going to help our customers know what we did to each and every unit. Now, how we do this in the RFS system is going to change a little bit, and I'm going to explain that to you right now. So what we have here is we have a call for here at BME. You're still going to go in, you're still going to hit travel, and you're going to hit start. What that's going to do, just like everything else, is it's going to have who called it in and what we're doing. So right now it says caller complained that a building is warmer than usual. So when we go to the equipment screen, what we have to do is now we cannot enter a description of work performed without selecting a piece of equipment. We have to tell them what unit we're working on. I know this might seem like it's kind of needy, but this is what our customers want from us, so we have to give them what they want. So you'll select new. I'm sorry, you'll hit select. I apologize for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on RTU2 first. So we're going to select it, and this is where things are going to change. In the past, we would go up here and we would put our work performed in the service comments. Now, if you remember in the past, whatever we put in the service comments, the customer would see, and whatever we put in the bill comments, the customer wouldn't see. That all changes now. Whatever you put in the service comments, and you don't have to put anything there if you don't want to, what goes into the service comments stays in-house. All right? Where you add your work that you performed on each unit is you select the unit, you go to enter readings. Now this is where we used to just put numbers, and this is what we didn't know before. What we were doing before was never really building a unit history of what had been done to that dang thing. Up here where it says history comments, we can put what we did to this particular piece of unit. Now you can type it in, or just like in the past, you can do the talk to text. So anything that you do to this unit is going to show up right here. Okay, now if you notice there's a button up here that says history comments, and I've had a lot of guys ask me what that is. If you turn that off, it's not going to show what you just did. And I'm going to select another unit here. Let's just look at RTU5. So we're going to select it, hit enter readings. Now you can still fill all this out if you want to, but it's not going to show up on the customer's papers. This is just for internal stuff. So, but history comments, talk to text. Upon arrival, I found that the condenser fan motor was running very slow and was hot to the touch. Need to quote replacing a new condenser fan motor. Okay, so if you notice, none of those comments are on this particular page. If you hit this, they'll show up now. Where that'll be handy is if you have to PM 5 different units, and if you select them all, you're going to realize if one of them doesn't have anything down here that you didn't put a description in for that particular unit. This is where the information on this particular piece of paper is going to come from. That is the biggest thing that's going to change for you guys, is now we're going to put our description of work performed for each unit in this history comments. We did not know this before. We know it now, so the only thing we can do is move forward. Everything else is going to stay the same. Again, whatever you put in the service comments will not show up. Whatever I put in service comments stays in-house and will only be viewable by BME staff. That will not show up on the customer's paperwork. You're still going to fill out your time, and you're still going to fill out, get your signatures, and everything is going to stay the same. One thing I do want to show you that has been here for a while that I haven't shown anybody. If you go to parts, a lot of people have asked me about how we put tool charges on there. So like say we go out and we work on a drain and we use a small sewer machine. So if we go to parts and we hit new, right now your items task is highlighted. Well, we're not selling them an item, we're selling them a charge for a tool. So we have to go to flat rate. If we hit our folder, it's going to give us a drop down menu. Now these aren't items, these are tasks. All of our tool charges, and if you go to item number, TC for tool charge and hit search, there's our tool charges. They've been there for a while. If we go up, we're going to find the small sewer machine. All right, so we can select it and just hit primary. It's going to add this to this particular ticket. Now we can do that with our vacuum pumps, our torches, whatever we want to do. We've been doing it in-house for you, but you can add this. That way it tells the billers and everybody what kind of equipment that you did use. But other than that, the labor and everything is going to stay the same, and I want to do a quick review on how to do that. So let's say that this call took us 4 hours, and 2 hours of it was regular time, and 2 hours of it was overtime. We're going to have 2 labor lines, one for regular, one for overtime. We select new. It's automatically set for regular. We're going to bill the customer regular hours, and we're going to get paid regular time. We're going to go to 2, which automatically fills in 2 for our work. Now you can change that if you want to. That's 1 labor line. Hit new again. We're going to change this to overtime and overtime. Let's say we work 2.5 hours of overtime just so it looks different. Okay, so we have entered our timesheet. It's that simple. Some of you guys are not filling this portion of it out, and you're relying on the dispatchers to do that. They're only going to do that for a very, very short time. If your labor is not in there, come Friday, you're probably going to be pretty upset. To check out, we have complete, continued, and we've added something new. Used to, for the Starbucks quote repairs, we had a column that was SBQT, which meant Starbucks quote. Right now, if you need a quote, and I don't care if it's for Starbucks or anything else, we're going to eventually select QTN. This isn't totally set up yet. I just want you to know if you see what it is. Starbucks guys, you're still going to select this. Until further notice, my regular HVAC calls, we're still going to use complete and continued. I just wanted to let you know what this was if you saw it. Once it's ready to go, within the next week, I'll show you how we're going to use this. But for right now, we're just going to use complete and continue unless you're Starbucks. So we're going to complete this call. We're going to hit done. And if you notice, there's our new form. It shows that we worked on this Linux unit, and there's what we did our text to type. That's the second unit that we worked on. And what you notice is not there is what we put in those service comments. It doesn't show up anymore. So everything that we do has to be attached to a piece of equipment. It's going to email it to me. And if we want to add somebody's email, all we have to do is hit edit, semicolon, and type in their email address. And I don't care who it is. We never put anything in the invoice email. We're not sending invoices. We're sending service orders. Depart an email. And remember, if you just hit depart, nobody gets an email. But if you hit depart an email, whoever's on that list gets it. Sure, you guys are going to have questions. Feel free to call me or Aubrey. But archive this video so you can go back to it and watch it again if you need to. All right, thanks, guys. You guys are doing a great job.